Hello, everyone. This is 15 Minutes of FAIN, and I'm the FAIN, Mary St. Brandt, your host and CEO of Mary St. Brandt Coaching and Consulting, where I help people get known, get found, get clients, or get a job. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I was in the LinkedIn mastermind group this morning, and we were talking about polls. And I was like, I've got to go on and share what we were talking about. While I knew a lot of what was discussed, there are some golden tips that my friend Judi Hays shared with us today. So I thought you all needed to know. So are you tired of seeing polls in your newsfeed? I know that I'm tired of seeing stupid polls in my newsfeed. You know, how do I take my coffee? Like those polls, there's some polls that I feel just don't belong on LinkedIn. Are you going to dress up for Halloween? Well, that doesn't belong on LinkedIn, in my opinion. So I scroll right past those. So a couple things is we're going to talk about the 7 steps, the 7 stages of a poll, the anatomy of a poll, how to use a poll to increase your brand awareness and to drum up business development. There's a lot of strategy that needs to go behind the poll. So before you even go on there and create a poll, let's break it down of the why, the how, and the follow-up. Are you with me? So tell me where you're watching from, and I want to know, have you done a poll? Drop that in the comments. Let's see who's watching. Hey, Russ, how you doing? Have you done a poll on LinkedIn? Did you find it magical? Like, did you get the engagement you hoped for? And did that engagement turn into conversations? Because, folks, this isn't Instagram. It doesn't matter if you get 20,000 views. Did you spark conversations that turned into opportunities? Hey, Mark, how are you doing? So we are going to be talking about the stages of polls, how to really utilize polls, because you know what? They're not going away. They're here to stay. LinkedIn loves a poll, and they love them so much that they, give them a little boost in the algorithm. Hey, Kristen. Oh, let me turn that off. I love when things are going off. Boom. So we've got Kristen from San Diego. You did a poll, but too early. Russ from Salem, Oregon is joining us. He's done a poll. We've got Mark. Hey, Mark from San Diego. And Kristen. So you guys, we're talking all about polls. The way this show is going to go, it's 15 minutes. It's short, sweet, and to the point, okay? And then, well, hello. Is it Zonzi? I want to make sure I pronounce names right. That's a beautiful name. Thanks for joining. So you guys, have you done a poll? Was it successful? Do you want to learn how to do you want to know how to be a rock star on polls? Let's break it down because I've got 10 minutes left. Okay, why do a poll? Because all the cool kids are doing one? That is no reason to do a poll. You need to be strategic in everything you do on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. It might stick, it might not stick, right? And you want it to stick. So why do a poll? Why are my messages going off? I love that. Market research, right? Doing a poll, asking a question that you want to know the answer to. So I did a simple poll on, I wanted to leave active campaign. Should I leave active campaign? And I put some other options in there. And so that let me know what other people were using. And then I could reach out if I wanted to have a one-on-one conversation about what tools they're using, if I wanted to. I was just kind of doing a test there. You want it to stick, right? You don't want to throw spaghetti and have it all over your floor. Same thing with a poll. You don't want to spend all that time creating a great poll. You have a great question, but you don't have a strategy. So we're going to break this down. Why do a poll? Market research, feedback from your potential clients and network, ideas for future content. And I just got to say real quick, my buddy Tim, I miss you. We need to catch up. Coffee and donuts soon, virtually. Identify qualified leads. You can do that with a poll. Yep. You can expand your network. You can engage with your audience, and you can research emerging industry trends by creating a poll. So there are some basic reasons of why to do a poll. Don't do a poll just because it's cool and everyone else is doing it. We're not in high school, folks. So what's the anatomy of a poll? So you have an idea, you want to do a poll because you know what, everyone else is doing them and they're working. No, you have to have a strategy first. So what are you doing the poll for? Why are you doing it? Is it to get an answer to a burning question you have? Is it to get ideas for future content? Is it for biz development? You know, are you targeting a certain industry? So I'm going to do the overview. I like to call it in leadership, we call this the balcony view of polls, right? And then there's the dance floor. What's going on down here? Because I only have 15 minutes, you're getting the dance floor view of how to set up your poll. So strategy is number one. Your question is step number two. The third step is the campaign itself. The fourth step is engagement, my favorite thing. Step number 5 is results. Step number 6 is the analytics. Step number 7 is follow-up. So Tim said I created 2 polls this week on LinkedIn to build up momentum to an announcement on the live show on Friday. It's working terrific so far. Yeah, I saw that, Tim. Good job. So let's break this down. Strategy. Why are you doing it? To build momentum for an event coming up or for a launch. Okay, what is the question that you're going to ask? You can have up to 4 answers on a poll. Yeah, and here's what works well. Yes, no, because that's easy. They don't got to think about it. Yes, no, not sure, other. So that is one way to, that's a simple poll. Okay, you can have up to 4 questions. You can't have more. And each question, it's 30 characters. So you got to abbreviate. You got to keep it short and sweet. Make it easy for your network to answer and engage and participate in your poll. You can also at the end put, if you choose other, drop that in the comments, right? Always give that call to action. Tell your viewers, your readers, what you want them to do. So why, let's talk about why do polls work so well on LinkedIn? Why are they favored by the algorithm? Well, they're easy to set up. They're easy to engage. The framework is built right into the platform, right? It's on LinkedIn. We're not asking anyone to leave because we all know LinkedIn doesn't like you to put external links, right? And the engagement increases the reach of the poll, right? So the higher the engagement, that poll is being seen by more and more people. And so LinkedIn really likes that. So let's talk. We talk strategy. Why are you doing it? What's the question that you want to ask? And I want to share my screen. Such value. Oh, Tim, I miss you, my friend. We do need to catch up. So I'm going to share my screen and show you a simple poll that I did and then another poll that blew up. And I hope it inspires you, encourages you to think about your next poll. So let's get over to share screen, my favorite thing to always do, right? Let's go here. There we go. So this was, it was one of my bite-sized tips, but I turned it into a poll. So this was 2 weeks ago, and I talked about LinkedIn getting into the ticket selling business. So I'm providing value first off to my audience, to my network, but I want to know, would they use it? Because I'm not sure I'm going to. I got a lot of questions going on in my head. Like, how much are they going to charge? How clunky is it going to be? Will people use it? Is it safe? Is it secure, right? So here was the poll. Do you think this is a good feature? And would you consider using ticketed LinkedIn events? Heck yeah. Oh no, not sure. I don't host events because not everybody hosts events. So we got over 46,000 views on this. Excuse me. And we got 57 votes. So this is part of the results and analysis. So this is actually step 5 and 6 that I'm showing you right now, right? So we did the strategy. I want to know, will people use them? Why do I want to know if people will use LinkedIn events and if they even know about them? Because I do events. So in January, if this rolls out by January and I'm selling tickets to LinkedIn Local Phoenix, will people be comfortable? Will they know they can do that? Will they be comfortable using it? So I'm doing market research for myself. So heck yeah, 14, 25, not sure, 15, or oh no, oh no. So this part is when you go into the analysis, right? You go in over here and I can see these people, heck yeah, not sure. Well, I could start a conversation with them. Why are you not sure? Is it because you need to see how it works? I totally get that. What's the oh no's? Who are those people, right? So you can go over here and you can actually see who's voted for what. And I think that is something that's overlooked when people are creating polls. Like if you're saying, how do you take your coffee? Are you dressing up for Halloween? You know, what's your schedule? Do you, as an entrepreneur, what does your business look like? Like, to me, those are silly polls. And you're just trying to be a Kardashian over here on LinkedIn and get lots of views. Oh yeah, that's Brittany. Brittany is the cat we adopted. She has separation anxiety and she has to be with me, especially today a lot. So she has a spot in all of my shows. So I want to show you a different poll. And I queued these up and hopefully I did it right. So when we're talking about topics, right? So, only have a few minutes. We're talking about, and I listed these out, so I want to make sure. Topics for polls. Hot topics, take a stand on something one way or the other. Things that are timely issues that are happening right now, or a poll that is a problem that leads to your solution. Can you say business development in big capital letters? You're doing a poll on a problem and you have the solution. So when those people vote, you can reach out to them and start a conversation. Do not slip into their DMs with a sales pitch. No, no, no. You start a conversation. Thank them for participating in your poll. Ask them a little more about that pain point. So if we go to my screen, I did this poll because I had read an article that that people aren't as active on Clubhouse, right? Maybe it wore off its appeal. So I know people that use Clubhouse on LinkedIn. So I strategically created this poll to drum up some awareness. And this was really more of a brand awareness and get conversations started. And also to connect with some people that are outside of my network. And so I did that. I tagged 2 people that I knew were active over on Clubhouse at one point or the other. My question was, are you still active on Clubhouse? Yes, I love it. No, the appeals weren't off, not as much as I had been. 446 votes, but over 23,000 views on this poll here. So when you go to the vote, whoops, I did that wrong. Oh, because that's not the original post. That's why. Then, right, we always want to repurpose our stuff, right? Always repurpose. So how do you repurpose that poll? Show the results. So I did another follow-up poll saying, hey, looks like the appeal of Clubhouse has died off according to the results of my poll. And I put that right there at the top. And then, right, you don't just put that. You have to weigh in. How do you feel about that? And so that got like 87 views, but it brought my poll back up. So it's important. It's very important that you repurpose the poll, right? So when you do the poll, and I have notes here, I want to make sure that I tell you some of these specific things. And I know we're at 5:15. Give me like 3.5 more minutes, okay? Because this stuff is great, you guys. So your results, you want to repurpose those results. So here's how you can do that. Just like I did, I created a post on LinkedIn and I shared my results. That's one way. And let's stop share. The second way is to write an article, like really write a robust article on LinkedIn and share your results that way. Create a PowerPoint about it and use that, as a post on LinkedIn. Share your results on other social media sites, right? And if you're working with a client who's looking for results, definitely take those results and put those in a PowerPoint to share with them. So that's just a few ways that you can repurpose your poll results. So you got to take the time to do the analysis. Why? Thank you, Kristen. There's a lot that you can do with a poll, a lot. So the analysis, I showed you part of that. Review who responded. Set up a tracking sheet, Google Sheets. Or if you have Sales Navigator, you can do it in that, but you can use Google Sheets and track who responded that is in your target market, who responded that you want to start a conversation with, right? Who else do we have joining? Cherie. Well, hello, Cherie. So do a poll with intention, create a strategy, then do the question, then set up your campaign. Just like I showed you, no more than 4 questions. Keep it simple, make it easy so people can, participate. Give them the option, tell them, hey, if you're not using one of these, if you don't fit in one of my boxes, what box do you fit in? So they can drop in the comments and say, hey, I don't use any of those email servers. Here's what I use. So make sure that it's clear that you want them to comment. And then that engagement piece is so important on polls. Polls can live more than that first day. What you have to do though, if you're posting a poll at 8 a.m. in the morning, I want to make sure that you're back there at 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10, checking and commenting, replying on the other comments, because you want to keep it up in the algorithm, and you want to keep it going. Oh, well, thank you. So that's one way, to keep that engagement going. You can share links to your polls, like in groups, a LinkedIn group. They're not real hot, but they're trying to make it come back. But the other strategy that my girl, Judi Hays, shared, and I hadn't thought of this one, so she gets 110% credit. She DMs people her poll. So you want to be specific in that. Someone that poll would speak to, right? A facility manager. If you did a poll on facilities, and your target audience is facility managers, find 10 or 20 of them and actually drop in their DMs with your poll and ask them to participate. Don't sell them anything. You're just asking for their wise wisdom because they're a senior facilities manager and you're gathering some research, So that is another way to increase the engagement, is to drop in the DMs. And I thought that was brilliant. So again, real quick, strategy first, question second, the campaign, setting it up, using 3 hashtags. One should be on brand, and then on topic, of course, and one that's going to get a farther reach. Engagement, drive up that engagement, look at your results, analyze those results, who's responded, do a Google Sheet, and then follow up is golden. Turn those comments into conversations. So someone comments on a poll, drop in their DMs, thank them for participating, say, and I did this on the Clubhouse. Hey, I hadn't thought of it that way. Thanks for pointing that out. That's a different viewpoint than mine, but I appreciate it, right? Create the article, share it on social media, and some extra little tips, mind the comments for future content, right? What are people talking about in the comments of your poll? Hey, that could be some future content, right? Doesn't mean that everything has to be a poll. You can actually see the results, why the poll is going on. If you, the owner of the poll, votes, then you can go in and see and then undo it, because you don't want your vote to count in the overall scheme, but you can do that. And make sure you use hashtags. Well, you guys, we are 5 minutes over, and I promised to keep 15 minutes of FAIN at 15 minutes, but there was a lot to cover. So I hope that this was fascinating, opened your eyes of how to really strategically use polls, and let's see how that goes. I want to see your guys' polls. Feel free to follow hashtag 15 minutes of FAIN, my name, right there, and also hashtag grow with Mary. Those are my 2 personal hashtags. So no matter what I'm posting on, you can always find my content with those 2 hashtags. Well, thank you, Cherie. Oh, thank you. Strategic planning and time management is very imperative. It sure is. And then you guys, just finally, next Wednesday is my bi-weekly show, Bite-Sized Tips for Busy Entrepreneurs. And that's a 30-minute show, Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So you'll have to figure out if it's, I think that's like 10 No, I can't figure it out with you. 9 a.m. It's 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's all I can do in my head. Okay. But that's a 30-minute show. And we're doing this next one is with Carl Sean Watkins. And we're talking about vulnerability and how you can actually get ahead in your job and your business if you learn how to lean in to being more vulnerable. I know that I need to do this more, and it's going to make it makes us a better person, a better business coach, a better business owner, a better friend. So to join us Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, right here wherever you're watching, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn. We stream to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube using StreamYard, who is the sponsor of all my shows. So shout out to StreamYard. Thank you so much for always having my back and sponsoring everything I do. If you guys are interested in learning how to use StreamYard, drop me a message, put a comment on here. I'll drop my link in if you're interested in taking your streams to the next level or starting out. And if you sign up with my link, I do like a quick 20-minute tutorial with you to help you get started. Okay, you guys, Mary FAIN Brandt here with 15 Minutes of FAIN. I gotta run. Have a wonderful evening. Ciao.